Dear students, let me start Unit 4. It is radiation and laser. In this, let us consider the topic radiation. So in physics, radiation is nothing but the emission or transmission of energy in the form of waves or particles, either through matter or through space. And the radiations are nothing but electromagnetic radiations, and the electromagnetic radiations, they consist of the radiations such as radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves, visible light, visible radiation, ultraviolet radiation, X-rays, gamma rays. And this order is in the increasing order of frequency or decreasing order of wavelength. And we also have heat radiations. And the heat radiations, nothing but the thermal radiations, these are also electromagnetic radiations. Their wavelength is in infrared region or in the visible region. So in this topic, radiation, we consider here the heat radiations or the thermal radiations. And here, let us consider the black body radiation. What is a black body? A body which can absorb all radiations incident on it is called a black body. And a black body here, when the thermal electromagnetic radiation within or surrounding a body which is in thermal equilibrium with its environment, then the radiations which are emitted by the body, that particular body, are known as the black body radiations. Black body which absorbs all radiations incident on it. All radiations means radiations of all possible wavelengths, say from 0 to infinity. Such a body is called a perfect black body. The perfect black body emits the specific spectrum of wavelengths, and the wavelengths or that spectrum which depends on the temperature of the body, that spectrum is independent of the nature of the body. It depends only on the temperature of the body. Black body, as the name says, the bodies which are perfectly black in color can be treated as the black body, but in practice, it's very difficult to find one such perfect black body. It's not available in practice, but an approximation, 90 to 95%. That much perfectness we can expect. And one such body, black body, prepared artificially, it is by a scientist called Ferri, known as Ferri's black body. The Ferri's black body, see, this is the construction. So I have given only construction here. This is the construction of a Ferri's black body. This black body consists of a double-walled spherical metallic shell M. A double-walled spherical metallic shell M. Inside this body, it is coated with the lamp black. You know what is lamp black? Inside it is coated with the lamp black. And here O is the opening through which the radiation enters. And here you can see a conical shaped part in the inner portion of this body. And see here, the outer portion of this body is coated with, it is nickel polished, coated with, or it is nickel polished, outside one. Whenever the radiation enters this body through the opening O, here, that radiation incident undergoes multiple reflections. You can see here in the diagram, multiple reflections inside the body, so that incident radiation, it will not move outside. Thus, it absorbed by the body inside itself. This is how this particular body behaves like a perfect black body. This was constructed by the scientist called Ferri's black body. A black body, it is a good absorber of radiations. Then here, in case of a black body, let us define a term called emissive power of any surface. Need not be the black body. Now let us consider certain surfaces which emit the radiations at certain temperature. See here, whenever a body absorbs the radiations incident on it at a certain temperature, usually it happens when the body is cold or body is at lower temperature. Whenever a body or a surface is at lower temperature, it absorbs the radiations incident on it. The same surface or the same body, whenever it gets heated up, then it starts emitting those radiations. Whatever radiations it had absorbed, it starts emitting the same radiations. In the sense, the radiations having the same wavelength at higher temperature when it gets heated up. So, here, let us, depending on this, let us define the term called emissive power of any body in general, not the perfect black body, the emissive power of any body in general or any surface. Emissive power of any surface, it is defined as the ratio of amount of radiations emitted by that surface per unit area per second to the amount of radiations emitted by a perfect black body per unit area per second when both are at identical conditions. So, emissive power of any surface that we get by comparing its power of emission of radiations with the perfect black body. What it says, it is a ratio of the amount of radiations emitted by the given surface per unit area per second to the amount of radiations emitted by a perfect black body when both perfect black body per second per unit area when both the surface and the black body are maintained at the identical conditions. And this emissive power denoted by symbol E lambda at a given wavelength. Emissive power corresponding to the given wavelength lambda. And here we define one more term called absorptive power of a surface denoted as A lambda. Absorptive power, it is the ratio of amount of heat radiations absorbed by the given surface in a given time to the amount of radiations incident on that surface in the same time. This ratio is called absorptive power denoted as A lambda. Now, using these terms, absorptive power and emissive power, a law was proposed by Kirchhoff, and this law states that the ratio of emissive power to the absorptive power for radiation of given wavelength is constant for all bodies at the same temperature. At a given temperature, same in the sense, at a given temperature, this ratio of emissive power to the absorptive power at a given wavelength is always constant for all bodies. So this constant is equal to emissive power of a perfect black body at that temperature. This ratio of E lambda to A lambda is always a constant for a given body, a given surface. It's constant for all surfaces, for all bodies. At a given wavelength, E lambda to A lambda is a constant, and this constant is nothing but emissive power of the perfect black body at that wavelength lambda and at the given temperature. This is Kirchhoff's law of radiation. And this Kirchhoff's law, it has got its own applications. Using this Kirchhoff's law, the phenomena in astrophysics and in spectroscopy, certain facts are explained using this Kirchhoff's law. One is, see here, what the law says? Emissive power to absorptive power is constant for all bodies, equal to the emissive power of a perfect black body. At a given temperature, suppose the emissive power, see black body is a good absorber as well as good emitter. And E lambda is taken as almost 1, not exactly 1, almost 1. So that E lambda proportional to A lambda or E lambda equal to A lambda. What it says? A surface, if it is a good emitter, then it's a good absorber also. A surface, if it is a good emitter, then it is a good absorber also. Using this, see, the occurrence of dark lines in solar spectrum is explained. Solar spectrum, it is not continuous spectrum. Solar spectrum consists of some dark lines against the bright background. We observe in the solar spectrum, if you study the solar spectrum, we find that it consists of certain lines, it is crossed with dark lines against bright background. Those lines are named as Fraunhofer lines. These are called as Fraunhofer lines, named after the scientist Fraunhofer. But even though Fraunhofer found those lines, he could not give explanation for the occurrence of those lines. Why the solar spectrum is crossed with those dark lines? The explanation was not given by Fraunhofer. So there, Kirchhoff gave explanation using his law. He gave the explanation for that. See there, Kirchhoff explained that the sun consists of the central mass, a very hot central mass, which gives out heat radiations. The radiations are coming out from the center, and that results a continuous spectrum. Then that central part of the sun surrounded with a cooler atmosphere. That cooler atmosphere, which consists of different elements such as hydrogen, nitrogen, sodium, copper, etc. All these elements are in the gaseous state there. It is surrounding that central mass, which is comparatively cooler than the center of the sun. When radiations from the center, they pass through that atmosphere of the gases or the elements which are comparatively cooler, they start absorbing their characteristic colors. So that in the resulting spectrum of the sun, certain colors they disappear. So that in those regions, dark lines are found. Those dark lines are called as the Fraunhofer lines. This is how Kirchhoff's law gives explanation for the occurrence of Fraunhofer lines. See, one more example is, consider sodium vapor. Sodium vapor, it emits light. Suppose this sodium vapor is heated, then it gives out spectrum consisting of two yellow lines. It's the emission spectrum. It is in the visible region, emission spectrum of sodium in the visible region. It consists of two yellow lines. If white light is passed through this sodium vapor, suppose sodium vapor is comparatively cooler than the white light. When white light passes through sodium vapor, then in the resulting spectrum, we find that instead of yellow lines, we can observe two dark lines in the region of those yellow lines. So now, the spectrum has become the absorption spectrum. Earlier it was emission spectrum. Now the spectrum has become absorption spectrum. In the region of yellow lines, we observe two dark lines, indicating that sodium vapor has absorbed its characteristic wavelengths, or those two lines, when white light, which is comparatively hotter than this sodium vapor, is passed through that sodium vapor. See, these explanations are given by Kirchhoff's law. Then what the law says? The good emitter of radiation is a good absorber also. So, here, the atoms of elements, they emit their own characteristic colors. When the element is very hot, it gives out the emission spectrum. When it is cooler, then it absorbs the same wavelength or same color. This is how Kirchhoff's law is applied to explain the emission spectrum as well as the absorption spectrum. Now, one more law statement, it is Stephen's law. The radiation emitted from any body depends on the temperature of the body. Then, this dependence of the total amount of radiation emitted by that body was first explained by Stephen, known as Stephen's law of radiation. The law states that the total amount of heat energy radiated per unit area per second by a perfect black body is directly proportional to fourth power of the absolute temperature of that black body. This Stephen's law is applied to a black body. Total amount of heat energy radiated per second per unit area by a perfect black body is directly proportional to fourth power of the absolute temperature, or Q is equal to sigma T to the power 4. What is Q? Amount of heat energy radiated per second per unit area. So Q is sigma T to the power 4. Sigma is called as Stephen's constant, given by 5.672 into 10 power minus 8 joule per meter square per second per Kelvin power 4. And the modification of this law by Boltzmann, then it is called Stephen-Boltzmann law. The law states, if a black body at absolute temperature T is surrounded by another black body at a temperature say T1, then the amount of heat energy radiated per second per unit area of the former, the first body, is given by Q equal to sigma T power 4 minus T1 power 4. This is Stephen-Boltzmann law. Now, the distribution of energy in the black body spectrum. A heated black body emits radiations of all wavelengths, but intensity of the radiation emitted is not distributed uniformly over the whole range of wavelengths. For different wavelengths, the intensity is also found to be different at a given temperature. This is very important. When the body is maintained at a particular temperature, the amount of energy radiated, we can call it as intensity or energy, is different for different wavelengths. So, energy distribution is not uniform. The amount of energy radiated and the distribution of this energy against the wavelength is as shown in the diagram. The distribution of energy against the wavelength is given by this. Here we have graphs at different temperatures, 700, 900, 1200 and so on. And at a given temperature, the energy distribution is not uniform. See, what do we observe is, as wavelength increases, the energy also goes on increasing. Energy becomes maximum at a particular wavelength, denoted as lambda m. There onwards, further increased wavelength, the energy goes on decreasing. The same thing we observe in case of other temperatures also. So that from this curve, or the curve of energy versus wavelength, reveals certain facts. They are, at a given temperature, energy is not distributed uniformly in the spectrum of the body. And one more fact is, at a given temperature, the energy has the maximum value corresponding to a particular value known as lambda m. See here, at a given temperature, at lambda m, energy is maximum, then it decreases. And lambda m, see, we also observe that as temperature increases, what happens to lambda m? Lambda m decreases with increase in temperature. And as the temperature increases, maximum of each curve shifts towards shorter wavelength region. See here, as temperature increases, the lambda m value shifts towards shorter wavelength region. This is another observation. And for all wavelengths, increase in temperature causes increase in energy of emission. As temperature increases, see here, as temperature increases, the maximum amount of energy emitted is also increases with that increase in temperature. This is about distribution of energy in a black body spectrum. With this, I stop here.